This is the 18 WJTS News.
Hello and welcome to the 18 WJTS News for this Tuesday, January 6, 2026. Thank you so much for choosing us for your local news coverage this evening. I'm Kaitlyn Neukam reporting. On December 10th of last year, Jasper High School's We the People debate team attended the We the People state competition at Crown Plaza Union Station in Indianapolis. The We the People competition is a premier academic contest for middle and high school students focusing on the U.S. Constitution and government, where teams participate in simulated congressional hearings, presenting arguments and answering questions from expert judges on constitutional topics to develop civic knowledge and skills. Teams are divided into 6 units, each covering specific constitutional areas, and compete at state, invitational, and national levels, culminating into a national finals event often held in Washington, D.C. While Jasper High School did not win the state competition for the 25-26 season, they still were able to experience competition at a regional and state level. Early Saturday morning on January 3rd, Trooper Leah Schnell and other officers responded to the area of College Street and Michigan Street in French Lick for a complaint of someone vandalizing property and vehicles. When officers arrived, the suspect had left. A name and vehicle description were given. A short time later, Paoli Police Department located and stopped the vehicle on State Road 37 in Paoli. The driver of the vehicle was identified as 20-year-old Michaela Kinzer of Orleans, Indiana. Kinzer was detained for the investigation, and Trooper Schnell arrived and spoke to Kinzer, and after the preliminary investigation, Kinzer was placed under arrest. While speaking to Kinzer, officers recognized indicators of criminal activity. Kinzer also showed visible signs of impairment, and during a search of the vehicle, suspected marijuana and paraphernalia were located. Kinzer was transported to the Paoli Police Department for a chemical test. Kinzer was then transported to the Orange County Jail, where she is being held on bond. Michaela Kinzer was arrested and charged with obstruction, a level 6 felony, operating while intoxicated, a Class A misdemeanor, criminal mischief, a Class A misdemeanor, driving while suspended with a prior, a Class A misdemeanor, and possession of marijuana, a Class A misdemeanor, and finally, a possession of paraphernalia charged with a Class C misdemeanor. The Friends of the Ferdinand Library are hosting their January book sale this weekend on Saturday, January 10th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. January's sale features a plethora of donated books, puzzles, and DVDs, along with a sale on DVD sets at 50 cents each, or $3 for $1. New offerings this month include many reads added to the Amish, children's, and youth adult sections. Prices remain at $1 for hardback, 50 cents for paperbacks, $1 for CDs and audiobooks, and children's books and puzzles are variously priced. The Friends can only accept cash or checks for purchases. Those who are members of the Friends of the Ferdinand Library will have access to the sale on Friday, January 9th from 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. before Saturday's sale. Membership pamphlets can be found at the library's main desk, and the cost is $10 per year to join. The Indiana Gaming Commission is set to host a free informational meeting on Tuesday, January 20th from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. at the Divine Mercy Parish Center in St. Anthony. This meeting offers organizations who do fundraising and charitable gaming, including raffles, pull tabs, games of chance, raffle wheels, and more, a chance to learn the proper way to legally operate them in the state of Indiana. Mark Mason from the Indiana Gaming Commission will be presenting this free program and explaining the rules and regulations regarding gaming in Indiana. While this meeting is free to attend, RSVP is required, and that can be made by emailing satanthonyvfd@yahoo.com. The Jasper Chamber has announced multiple ribbon cuttings set for January in our local area. Those ribbon cuttings include on Wednesday, January 14th, the Movement Studio will begin at 10 a.m. and Ziggy's Coffee will be at 2:30 p.m. And on Wednesday, January 21st, Priority U Health will be at 11 a.m. and Quilted Peace will be at around 11:20 a.m. The 23rd Annual Ferdinand Prom and Bridal Expo is set for Sunday, January 11th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Ferdinand Community Center. The event will feature more than 40 wedding-related businesses all in one location, offering ideas and services to help plan the perfect wedding or prom. Attendees can sample cakes and catered foods from area vendors, enter to win prizes, and explore the latest trends. Goodie bags will also be given to the first 100 brides. The expo offers something for everyone planning a very special event. The Huntingburg Public Library is encouraging families to start the new year by getting young children involved in its pre-K reading programs. The library is currently offering both the 100 Books Before 1 and 1,000 Books Before Kindergarten programs, which are designed to help build early literacy skills and foster a love of reading before children reach school age. The programs are open to families with pre-kindergarten age children and can be done at a pace that works best for each household. Library officials say families who may have signed up in the past but not have been active or welcome to stop in and get restarted at any time. Indiana's class of 2025 has set a new state record for high school graduation rates, marking the third straight year of improvement. Nearly 92% of Indiana seniors graduated, up to 1.6% points from last year. Graduation rates increased across every student group statewide. Gains were reported among Black, Hispanic, and white students, English learners, students in special education, and students receiving free or reduced price meals. The state's non-waiver graduation rate also climbed to just over 90%, showing more students are meeting post-secondary readiness requirements without exceptions. Federal data released by the Indiana Department of Education shows Indiana's federal graduation rates rose nearly 90% in 2025, also an increase from the previous year. State education officials say the continued gains reflect progress in literacy, attendance, and expanded diploma pathways preparing students for life after high school. Over 20 million people in the U.S. are now facing higher health insurance costs after Congress allowed federal tax subsidies to expire at the year's end. The average cost of premiums through the Affordable Care Act is now expected to rise by 26% across the U.S., though it could be lower in states that run their own marketplace. Millions of people are expected to drop their health insurance this year because of the price hikes. And that has been your Tuesday news right here on 18 WJTS. Next up is your weather forecast.